I think it would be healthy for a lot of people if they wouldn't feel like movement is moving churches, but it's actually moving locations. I think what happens in Christianity, we feel God moving something, so we just move churches. That's not what God's asking you to do. You know what he's asking you to do? A lot of people leave churches because they have unrepentant sin that they don't want everybody to know about, or that they feel like, well, I don't want to be treated differently there, or they have frustrations that they've voiced or they haven't voiced, or they have this. A lot of people that are church hurt, and we have them here, they think they know everything about what it's like to be a pastor. They think they know everything about what it's like. Well, I just believe my pastors. Do you hear God? I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm saying, do you hear the voice of God? Do you sense him? Well, where does he ask you to be? So you're telling me that God is so sweet that when things get in turmoil over here, he just asks you to be gone? Come on, man. Don't play that game. That's not the way it works. You see, the community that you have sitting in this room and sitting in Oakland, sitting online, that community, you're called to those people. We get these pieces of us, well, I guess I'm just like, God doesn't move people like checker pieces all over the church map. That's something we do. What God does is call you to community. And when you get tired of God or you get frustrated with God, you switch your community. That's not what I'm talking about in this message. That's fickle, Americanized church. That's not what this is. This is deep, anointed, passionate, and pulling. That's what I'm talking about is not that. That's very flesh, surface level. I call myself a Christian, but I go with my preferences over what the preference of God is. That's what it is. You see, the reason people jump in and out of churches has more to do with their inability to connect with God than it is the church's inability to do what they want. And this isn't me defending anything. This is me simply saying, I've pastored this church for 11 years, and I am telling you, I have never seen somebody called by God leave so passionately and then thrive where they're at when they are the ones who cause the division. God doesn't work like that. What he wants you to do is 2 words: get rooted. And what I've seen is when people have moved, generally, when they leave the church and God's calling them to something, they're moved locations, physical locations. And he's taking them to something deeply rooted, not to a different church of their preference. That's where we get it jacked up. That's where we get it messed up. Now, I'm not saying everybody who's ever left the church, this is not a soapbox. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you see our first decision we make whenever God's changing stuff is we got to change our church. If we would have the church be a place of the root, then we wouldn't be constantly uprooting our lives and pulling everything out of the ground.